All right, we're going to be working on the Chapter 9B study guide today. First, notice that this is actually part of the question. It won't be like this on the test. I apologize. So, identify the asymptotes of minus 4 over x minus 3 minus 2. Well, we know that the x equal asymptote, which is, okay, first we make that denominator, the x minus 3, equal to 0. We solve for x, and we get this is our x equal asymptote. Well, if we look at our options, there's only one with x equals 3. So the answer has to be D. All right, number 2, which of the following is a discontinuity? Well, the discontinuities, again, are where we have a denominator of 0. So it's at x equals negative 2. We haven't identified exactly what type of discontinuity, but that's not what it's asking. So this question would be 2. All right, now we're going to look at number 3. Which equation has a graph like the one below? Well, first we're going to look at our asymptotes. Okay, so we have a x equals 1 asymptote. If I subtract the 1, that's going to be in my equation, x minus 1. Well, again, I only have 1. But let's look at our other asymptote. I also have a y equals negative 3. Well, that then has to be my k. So I have to have a minus 3 at the end. And sure enough, C fulfills both of those conditions. So C would be my answer. All right, state the horizontal and vertical asymptotes. Horizontal are my y equal, and vertical are my x equal. All right, so x minus 2 has to equal 0, which means that x equals 2 is my vertical asymptote. So now when you take this test, if you want to use different colored pencils for like your asymptotes, grab a red pencil and use it for asymptotes, or a blue pencil and a black for regular test, that's fine. I kind of like it separate colors, but I use a dotted line since I don't have a separate color right now. All right, so my y equal is my k. So I have a y equals 1 asymptote. Okay, y equals 1, x equals 2. All right, so those are my 2 asymptotes. Now, to graph this, please make sure you read the entire question. I have to graph it also. I need an x, y chart. I'm going to choose x's on either side of my asymptotes. So that means I'm going to choose 3, 4, 1, and 0. Okay, so 0, 1, 3, and 4. So 0, if x is 0, whoops, I have to go back up and look at the equation. If x is 0, I get 2 over negative 2 plus 1. Well, that's negative 1 plus 1, which is 0. Okay, so 0, I'm going to erase my funny little tick mark there. At least I'm going to try. There we go. Okay. I go through 0. Now, if I plug in a 1, I get 2 over 1 minus 2 is a negative 1. So that gives me negative 2 plus 1, or negative 1. So 1 gives me negative 1. All right, I can see my line. It comes right along the asymptote. It arches out, catches these 2 points, and goes back down the other side. All right, now I'm going to find the 2 points on the other side of the x-asymptote. If I plug in a 3, I get 3 minus 2 is a 1. So I have a 2 over 1 plus 1, which is 2 plus 1, or 3. So I go through 3, 3. Right there. Now if I plug in a 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. I end up with 2 over 2 plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Okay, so I also have this point. Now again, I can see my line. It comes down the asymptote. Whoa, that one is not nicely done. We're going to curve it a little better. I come down my asymptote, swing out, and I go on. There we go. That's my graph of this function. I have identified my 2 asymptotes. Okay, I've got everything I need to do to prove to my teacher that I know what I'm doing. Hint, hint. All right. Okay, sorry. Number 9 this is our second video. Number 9 is sitting at the very bottom of the page. It just didn't get onto the next page. I'll have to work on that. Okay, so y varies inversely. We write these out just as we say them. Oops, it helps if I'm in writing mode. Okay, y varies inversely with the cube of x. Okay, so now y is equal to 24 when x is 12. So now we find k. Okay, so I have 12 cubed. I'm going to end up with 24 times 12 cubed. 12 cubed, come on. Because I end up with 24 times 12 cubed equals k. And that's 41472. So my equation is y equals 41472 over x cubed. Now they want to know what y is when x is 6. Well, that's 41472 over 6 cubed. And 6 cubed is 216. So if I take 4142 and I divide it by 216, I get 192. So that's my answer to the question. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call. All right. So now that was number 9. We're moving on to... Oh, it looks like 9 was a multiple choice. So you can see that 192 would have been our answer. All right, now we're looking at number 10. Write a function rule if y varies inversely with the square of x, y equals 9, and x equals 2. Okay, so then I have 2 times 9, 18 is k. So the function rule would be y equals 18 over x squared. Okay, so that one was pretty darn easy. So let's, oops, looks like we're way down here. All right. I'll just make sure this is formatted better when I put it up on line for you to print off so that it's not kind of weird like this. So if z varies jointly with x, oops, I forgot the k. K should have been in the first. Okay. Soon as you see the word varies, you should write your k. So z equals varies jointly with x and inversely with y. Okay. So z is 6 when x is 2 and y is 3. Oops. Sorry, that should only go that far. Apologies. Okay, so I multiply both sides by 3. I get 18 equals 2k. Divide by 2. 9 is k. So I have, find z when, well, my 9 is a k, x is 3, and y is 2. Okay, so this is 27 over 2. So that's what z is. That's my answer. And then I think I'm to 12, and we're almost done. Okay. Hooke's law states that the length of a spring stretch is directly proportional to the weight on the spring. Sorry, L equals KW. I forgot my K, silly me. All right, if a weight of 5 kilograms stretches a spring 12 centimeters. So this is finding our, not W, it's 5K. Apologies. Again, man. Divide both sides by 5. So K is equal to 12 fifths. All right, so determine the weight, W, that would stretch a spring 27 centimeters. All right, so I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Okay, so this is 3 times 4. That would turn that into 9. So that gives me 45 over 4 is my W. And I believe the answer's in decimals. So 45 divide 4 is 11.25. Centimeters. No, weight is in kilograms. So let's erase that. We don't want centimeters. We want kilograms. So that should be my answer, right? My weight was in kilograms. Okay. There we go. And that's the end of the study guide.